I'm going to have a little talk about valve guides. This kind of goes for all engines in general, but we see lots of stuff that comes through, I should say, and different guides and that type of stuff. So I wanted to touch base a little bit. I see some guys doing videos on stuff, and it's, I don't know if you should say it's the wrong way, just not the way that I do it. Let's say it's just not the way I do it. So, move these pistons out of the way. So, there's a few options for doing valve guides. So, now, old school industry standard for a long time is to have a hammer in valve guide. So, for a long time, this is going to be like an industry standard valve guide. They're made out of a better cast material. They're hardened. This is actually for a 24 valve Cummins, and they're made out of a harder material than the original head, so they don't wear as easy. Really good option. This is what I use in all the 24 valve stuff, and never have issues with it. They don't wear very fast. Good valve guides. Now, what did I wanted to touch base, and I've seen videos from other people, let's say, doing stuff. And I honestly, there's a few things I really don't like. And I just wanted to touch base with you guys on how we do it, how I recommend to have it done, and why. That's the big thing, is why. So this was an industry standard for quite a long time. So what they call this is a knurling tool. And I don't know if you guys will be able to see it, but it's not round. It's almost like it's four-sided, but it's round at the same time, which I don't know if that makes sense to you or not. Now, don't get me wrong, I've used these for instances where guys don't want to spend the money or don't have the money. You just need to prolong a cylinder head for a little while, I guess you would say. I don't classify as rebuilding myself. But so basically, if you look at the doing a knurl in a guide, what you do is, so if this is your guide, right? But I'm going to draw it out. Let's actually make it so that it looks right here. So you do this. What you're going to do, like I said, I'm going to draw this out here. So you're going to drive this through there. And when you drive this through there, what happens is you're going to do this. You're going to do this. Okay, don't laugh at me for the drawing, because I'm not good at drawing. But you guys will get the idea. Obviously, it wouldn't be that coarse, and I don't know, probably not to scale either, but you guys will get the idea. So now I'm going to take a reamer to ream it to size, right? So you're going to drive the reamer through it, or spin the reamer through it when you're spinning these. And what you're going to do now is you're going to take off this material with the reamer. I hope this makes sense. So basically now what you're left with, and now I'm going to redraw it just so it's not a big jumbled mess there. So basically what you're left with now is, there again, not a good drawer, guys. You're basically left with flat spots across these, because you've stuck the reamer through there. So if you guys know anything about wearing, as far as guys that are worked with this stuff, basically now what you've done is you've just displayed the material and then you ran the reamer through it. So now what you have, instead of having material in these spots, one, you have room for soot to sit. You also have room, now you also have less contact patch. Obviously it's not going to be maybe uniform exactly like that, but in micro scale kind of idea, right? Now you have, let's say, 40% less material for the valve to actually ride on. So when you do this, it wears really fast. So that's the reason that I don't like doing this, because it does wear out quite quickly. There again, all this is in my opinion. So, you know, if the guys that are doing it that way and they want to warranty it, just not the way that I like doing it. This is, you know, like I have all these tools. I could do it all this way, just not how I like doing it. So talking about, there we go. So talk about Reamer. So basically with these ones, what you do, this is the first one that I showed you. Basically you drill this hole, the OD, and then you drive this in and then you size this. I don't, you guys probably won't be able to see inside there, but it does have flashlights. See how it's not knurled at all in there, right? It's sometimes a lot of them will have like a spiral line inside, but that just is to help it make sure it stays lubricated. And then we also run a valve guide hone through them. I don't know if I showed you guys that in the 12 valve video or not. I can't remember if I had. No, those ones I didn't have to do because they were good. But anyways, I'll show you in another video actually how to operate that. I'll show you in another video at a later date. But anyways, you drive these in, and then, so this is a way better material, lasts a lot longer than the original. Now, another option is a bronze guide. And bronze guides are good as long as they're made out of good material. But for a diesel application that does a lot of running, it's not, there again, guys might argue with me. I've seen these, they like to wear, and they wear quickly compared to the cast guides. So if you're doing high performance stuff, you could do this. I probably will maybe play around with that a bit and just see. I personally haven't done it in the 12 valve or the 24 valve, but I know guys that have, but a lot of them seem to shy away from it after they have. So I believe that's probably because of the heat and the wear. So, but now something I wanted to note. So this is a brass guide liner, which there again, I do not like. So don't, make sure if a company is saying we're putting brass guides in it, make sure if you are getting brass guides, you're getting this, which is a solid piece, and not this, which is also another name is a thin wall, which I personally, there again, don't like. Now the reason I don't like these, lots of guys use these, and the reason I don't like these is they're really thin. They're tough, but they're thin, and they don't last. Lots of times, I've seen this lots and lots of times, what'll happen is they get installed. Now I have seen them where they stay too, but they'll get installed. And so basically what you do is you just ream a little bit out, about that size, you drive this into the hole, and then you broach it afterwards, which is basically a ball bearing. You drive it through, and it basically mushrooms it in there. But I don't like them because they like to move. And lots of times we will see these where it'll always be, I shouldn't say always. I've always seen it, I guess the valve will hold it down. So you'll always see it on the valve side where this should be flush and it's sticking out, you know, like a quarter of an inch. I've seen one that was actually riding up and down on the valve once. So I really don't like these. There's nothing to retain them in there. They're very thin. I think that they wear. Every one that I've ever measured was out of spec. There again, I don't know how many kilometers are on them, but I personally don't like these, and they're split. So this isn't something that I will use. I do have a couple kits from when I bought some equipment from a guy. I personally don't like using them. I wouldn't use them, but personal preference. If the guy's installing them, there's lots of guys that use these with no problems. By all means, if you're one of the guys that uses these, don't have a problem, awesome. I personally don't use these. I don't like them. I've seen lots of them move. I've never seen a catastrophic failure from it. I just don't like the idea that I have a split, basically super thin piece of brass material holding my engine together. 10, you know, potentially 5, 10, 15, 20, $30,000 engine. Myself personally. So that, as far as the valve guide thing goes, it's just a brief overview, but I've seen some guys using them and I do not like these, especially for a gas application, not so bad. I personally wouldn't use them for that either. To each his own, whatever you want to do. But I do not use these. I've seen them move, don't like it. I don't do it. There again, whoever's doing the work for you, if that's what they want to use and they're confident doing that, that's fine. By all means. But anyways, that's a overview on these things. Just kind of idea. So personally, I like doing guides, and then you can do bronze guides. There's lots of engines that do run bronze guides, like right from factory runs bronze guides. You can do that as well, but if you're going to do them, I personally recommend to be doing a full guide. Lots of them will be topped, so that means that they can't, like these ones, you can see there's a little step. They can't go all the way through. These ones don't ever seem to move anyway, but because they are prep fit in there, and then we hone them to size, and then we have a guide gauge, which you guys have seen me use, a guide gauge for actually measuring them as well. So yeah, anyways, that's what we got on the go for today. Like, subscribe, hit me up in the comments if you got any questions, and we'll go from there. Thanks, guys.